What's going on, everybody? K to the 2 here with the CCL D League Season 1, Weeks 9 through 13. So we're doing the end of the regular season here. It has been a long time since I've uploaded CCL D League. And mainly it is because I was focusing heavily on the Battle Union. And I had pretty much already wrapped up my playoff spot, and these last couple weeks are just me trying to clinch the #1 overall seed so I get a bye week round 1, and then we can go from there. So basically, in order for me to clinch the #1 seed, I have to go 3-1, or I can go 2-2 with Ellie having the same record, because I will have had to beat her. That is who I play in week 11 after I play Sork right here. And if I go 1-3 and she goes 2-2, or say I go 2-2, she goes 3-1, she would still have to overtake me by differential in order to take that #1 seed away from us. So that's going to be our situation here. So let's go ahead and hop right into our first battle. The first one was against Sork, and I'm just gonna go through every one of these battles. I'm just gonna say what I brought, and I'm gonna let it play pretty much and talk about my plays. I'm not gonna sit here and pause a hell of a lot, and I'm just going to try and get through these as fast as possible, because there's 3 games here that I have to go through. Also, I can't remember completely everything that I had on the team. So I have a really speedy, jolly Conkeldurr, enough speed to outspeed that Heatran, and also like he doesn't have a lot for Conkeldurr. Weavile is just overall pretty good. I have a banded set. Garchomp is Swords Dance sub Salic. Mantine, I don't remember. Chandelure was Subcalm Mind, and Bulu was Scarfed. Okay, let's get into the match. I lead with Conkeldurr because I realized he didn't have much for it. He's just going to U-turn out, and he has 1 Ice Punch switching, which is Toxapex, and that's what he goes into. He doesn't have Rocky Helmet, which is very nice. I'm going to go for the Thunder Punch. It's an easy 2-hit KO as he gets up a layer of T-Spikes, and he doesn't really have a good switch into this anymore, so he's going to go into a little Marowak as I hard read that and go for the knockoff. So we knock off its Thick Club, show that we're Life Orb, and down goes Marowak. We're going to outspeed it. He's going to go into Thundurus, he's going to go for the Wild Charge, and he's going to drop to a knockoff. Okay, so the reason I went for knockoff is because I didn't want him doubling, and by doubling I mean going into Toxapex, as I went for Thunder Punch again, and I would have been able to knock up its item, which would have been nice. I brought Speedy Conkeldurr. It worked. He didn't bring any speed on Heatran, but because he was bulky, he was able to take advantage of it. So right here, I definitely should have gone for the Pursuit in order to take out the Heatran. However, I go for the knockoff, and Toxapex like, yeah, I'm going to eat that up, and I'm going to switch out, and now you don't do anything to me. So we're going to knock off this Ferrothorn's leftovers. Weavile is starting to get worn down. I need to save it for the Landorus, and he's going to go for his rocks. And if I had Defog on this Mantine, this game would be a whole different story. However, I don't have Defog on this. I have Haze on it, and I believe I had Toxic as well. And it really was unfortunate that I didn't think ahead to bring Defog when he had rocks and T-Spikes. But also, there was the fact that I was really surprised he brought T-Spikes against me because of the team that I have. I have a potential Guts Conkeldurr. I have a Mantine which isn't affected by it. I brought the 4 things really that are affected by it, and he also said after the match, yeah, I didn't plan for this game at all. I just brought a team from a previous week, so that's why I had T-Spikes. And that's really what pissed me off this game, is that he didn't even respect his opponent enough to actually sit down and plan a team. So like, good job, you did a thing, Sork. I guess you pissed me off in knowing that. Yeah. Anyway, there goes my Salic Berry, and he's gonna go for a double protect as I went for the double Swords Dance, and I only have 1 hit left in Garchomp, and it's going to be used against the Landorus because I felt that Scarf Blue was going to be enough to take on Toxapex. And it's not. And we're going to end up losing this game because I don't have anything to beat a Toxapex. Because he is Black Sludge and he's getting the grassy terrain, and I'm not going to be able to get too many high rolls, and that's basically going to be it. I don't get enough mid to high rolls in time before I go down, and that's going to be the end of the game. We're just going to skip through. He ends up 1v1ing the rest of my team. So that's that game. We're going to hop over to week 11. Yes, week 11 against Ellie. Now, since we did lose, we need to definitely win this one against Ellie, because if she wins, she overtakes us. We had the same record going into this game, which was kind of scary, but we brought some things. So, Komala is bulk up, return, wish protect, and it like shits on everything that isn't Lucario, and Lucario is the only thing that really does anything to Komala. Weavile, last time I brought it against her, was Scarfed, which outspeeds an Adamant, Excadrill, and Sand. This time I brought Banded, and then I brought an Assault Vest Raikou, but it also has Aura Sphere, so it has the minus Spadef nature, and I just decided, you know, we'll bring 4 attacks. I can throw an Assault Vest on here so I can take special hits a little bit better, because I am minus Spadef nature, that's fine. Mantine is just here to do Mantine things. Jirachi is Body Slam, Sub, Iron Head, and I don't feel bad because I really just needed to win this game. And Garchomp was my rocker, I believe. Yes, it was my rocker because I needed something for wearing down Togekiss, Goodra, Rotom Heat, you know. So, we're going to get right into this one as well. We're going to lead off with Raikou. He's going to go ahead. She is going to go ahead and lead off with Goodra, which happens to be Scarf, and because we're Selfless, we take that like a champ. We're going to Volt Switch out. She is going to not be able to outspeed our Weavile. We're going to kill it with a knockoff, and she goes into Lucario, which is banded as fuck, and takes the Rocky Helmet and the Iron Barb, or not Iron Barbs, but Rough Skin. And we're going to be able to get Upper Rocks, as I knew she wouldn't want to stay in. And now we reveal that Komala is an absolute amazing switch in to Rotom. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Wish. We're going to try and pass this into Garchomp to get it a little bit more healthy. Maybe it can take another close combat. But then, like, Chomp gets nothing because it has such a high HP stat compared to Komala. So we're going to Dragon Tail her out. He goes into the Togekiss. Maybe she can defog for us. We're going to go for the Iron Head, and she goes for the Dazzling Gleam. And that's going to be the end of Garchomp. So, next up we bring in the Jirachi, and this is the part where I go for the Body Slam and get the Paralysis. And this is the part where Jirachi does Jirachi things. So, expecting her to switch out, I'm going to click the Substitute button as she goes for Defog. And now she's in even more of a mind because I have a free sub up, and I just went straight for the Ice Punch and killed her Gliscor on the switch in. I was like, hey, let's go for Ice Punch. It hits the Togekiss, and I have a potential to hit the Gliscor. So she's going to go into Rotom Heat, see that that doesn't do anything, and we're sitting in here again. We're going to Body Slam. Don't get the pair this time. Nope. So she's going to be able to close combat our face, and what I wanted to do here is sub up as she continued to lower her defenses, and then I would be able to kill with an Iron Head. But she switches out, so we're just going to go ahead and settle for getting some damage on this Rotom Heat, and this is the part where I, for the next couple turns, just sub up as she continually goes for Overheat until it can't break my sub, except for the fact that I forgot that a -6 Overheat plus Volt Switch still is able to break the sub. So Rachi's getting worn down for no reason, pretty much. When I did have the free switch into Komala, however, I needed to keep it healthy for the Lucario. So we're gonna see right here is where I go for the Body Slam. And that's where the Volt Switch breaks. She goes into Zam, and I know Shadow Ball's coming my way. That's the only thing that would have been able to kill the Jirachi, which is a huge pain in her ass. And then she's like, yeah, we're just gonna... Oh, wait, that's a Weavile. And then we go for Beat Up, which is not going to be able to take out this Rotom. However, it is in a very good range of health. Expecting her to go into Lucario here, I just go into Mantine and I let her kill me. That's completely fine with me. I didn't want her getting the Justified boost. That would have absolutely ended me. So I'm just going to go for the Aura Sphere, and that's going to be the end of the Rotom. All she has left is this Alakazam, really, to deal with Raikou. And we can go into Weavile, again predicting the Psyshock to come our way. And Weavile picks up a kill on the non-Sash Zam, which is very nice. She's going to go back into her banded Lucario, click Bullet Punch, and this is the part where we do Rachi things until the game is over. So we're going to end up flinching the Togekiss down, and we are going to end up paralyzed. No, we're just going to flinch the Lucario too. So down goes Lucario, and she forfeits, but that's fine because like Jirachi gets the final kill on the final turn anyway. Lastly, we have our game against Leo, and this game is a potential championship matchup, and he had a really tough team to plan for, but I saw that Conkeldurr had a pretty good matchup, and also I didn't want to reveal all too much about my team. So instead of bringing like an SD Weavile like I wanted to, I just brought 4 attacks with a Focus Sash. Pretty much the Focus Sash was there for no reason. Maybe it would have helped against the Mamoswine, just to get off an extra hit, or maybe the Scolipede, who knows. Rachi was Trick Scarf, Garchomp was banded with rocks, Conkeldurr was Guts Flame Orb, Sylveon was Wish Protect, Hyper Voice, and Psyshock with a Cubia Berry in order to take a Poison Jab or a Gunk Shot from the Greninja that he didn't bring. And lastly we have lastly we have Mantine, again, just to do Mantine things. That's what I love Mantine for on this team. It just does Mantine things. So, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this battle. This game, I'll let you know right now, it was not a good game. Mostly because, like, well, first of all, Leo, you just went for Will-O-Wisp on a Dark type with your Prankstermon. So, I gotta sit you down and talk to you about that one later. But, it's fine. He realized his mistake, and he's like, oh wait, I can't Prankster Dark types. Oops. But he got my Sylveon on the switch in. So, expecting his Tangrowth to come in, I'm gonna go into Rachi, and I'm gonna trick it. And that thing no longer has an Assault Vest, which is nice. And now he knocks me off, and I don't have an Assault Vest. So, I can still trick something later, if I want to get rid of its item. So he's going to spam knockoff, and Sylveon's in here, and he's going to go into Snorlax as I get up a Wish, and hoping he doesn't go for the Body Slam getting a Para. He doesn't. Okay. Conkeldurr is in here, and it has its Flame Orb, and he has one switch in, which is Sableye. Little did I know that Guts Conkeldurr is not going to be able to 1v1 this Sableye, which is very, very saddening to me. Because, really, that was my best chance of beating his team, is Conkeldurr. And he brought a Sableye which can 1v1 a Conkeldurr. So, that's, well, the specific Conkeldurr that I brought, I mean. So he's going to go for the Body Slam onto my Garchomp and get the Para, which actually kind of sucks. And we get parried as I went for rocks that turn, and he's going to get up his own rocks for free. And now I'm going to basically try to get myself back in the game by getting some momentum. He's going to go for the knockoff, which is fine. He's locked into it, and we're going to defog. Thankfully, I had defog this time, so we didn't run into the same problem that we did against Sork. We're going to go for Scald again. He's going to Body Slam, he's going to Paralyze. Nope, he doesn't Paralyze. He's going to Paralyze something else, maybe. So, we're going to go into Conkeldurr, and he is forced to go back into Sableye again. And I know this is coming, but, like, there's nothing I can do to this Sableye with Conkeldurr, and I'm, like, really sad. So he's going to go into it, and I go into my Garchomp. I know I can live any hit that Cobalion wants to go for. I go for EQ, and that is a POW. So I decided, you know what, I could go for the EQ because I think he's going for rocks, but Jirachi is overall the better play, since I do still have the ability to defog. So we're going to go ahead and U-turn, and we're going to go back into our Garchomp. And if I had Toxic, this is where I would have gone for it, but I don't have Toxic. I am Choice Banded, and that's very saddening. So Poison Jab comes out, and down goes Mantine. We can't defog anymore. In comes Mantine, or Weavile. I knew its Sash was going to be broken. We're going to low kick, expecting the Cobalion to be the switch-in. However, I need to flinch this. Flinching it even still won't do anything, because I'm not doing enough damage. I needed a double crit, which still wouldn't have helped. So, like, I go into Sylveon, I'm just going to click Wish, and I'm going to try to pass this, I believe. Yep, I pass this into Garchomp, knowing that it can take something. That Mega Horn was a crit, and now I can't take two of those. So, I'm already pretty much being hexed out of this game, which is completely fine. He doesn't know a lot about my sets, and we have a potential championship game coming up. So I've learned a hell of a lot about his team, whereas he's not learned a whole lot about ours. So we're going to go for the EQ here and get paralyzed, as I went for EQ on the Cobalion. Yeah, that's, now I'm just gonna double around until my things die to hazards, pretty much. He's gonna go into Mamoswine, I'm just gonna Iron Head, and I'm like, you know what, maybe we can get some flinches, because I've been so unlucky this game. Nope, we, actually get crit. So that's how this game is going. So we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna switch around until everything is dead to rocks, and that's how we're going to finish off the game. He's going to end up getting a 6-0, and I didn't want to reveal anything else that I had on my team. So that's going to be it for that match. And at this point, we went 1-2 in the last 3 weeks. And the final week, we don't have a replay for because my opponent ended up forfeiting against us. So we ended up 2-2. Ellie ended up forfeiting her last game, so she also went 2-2 in her last her last 4. That wouldn't make sense in her last 2. So we end up 1 game ahead of her because we ended up beating her 4-0, which is very nice. We end the season 10-3 at plus 27, and we did get the first round bye in the playoffs. So we will be playing either Phantom or Ellie in the semifinals match. That's going to be that's going to be fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave that like button. That was kind of a rough 3 games for me, because first of all, I got out-prepped by being I don't even know what to call that. He just was like, I'm going to bring an old team, and it has nothing to do with yours, but it also happens to have the one move that kind of destroys your team in T-Spikes. The one move that I could have brought against your team, you know. So, like, I'm disappointed in losing that game to that. Then I did well against Ellie, and then I got completely hexed to shit against Leo and didn't have a chance. So, like I said, I don't feel bad because that was a potential championship game preview, and the only thing he saw was that Conkeldurr was not enough to break through his Sableye, but it would have been for the rest of his team. So there's that. Weavile didn't have SD. That would have been a great bring against the team that he brought. Jirachi wasn't that great. Mantine, yeah, like, anyway, that's enough rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like on the video, and I will see you guys next time.